Our courts must be mindful that their actions can play into somebody's political advantage. If, therefore, they are mindful of that and they wish to proceed as if nothing is happening, that's their prerogative.
Are you suggesting that if the Attorney General or the police have evidence of a crime committed by a member of parliament, they should fold their arms and say, because if we touch the person and the court gives a favorable ruling, it will do what?
I am not saying that. I am saying that whatever happens in a court has a certain repercussion outside the court. In this case, there's a political issue playing out. And the effects of what is done in the court, rightly so, will have a clear political effect. So the court must be mindful of that. Something you and I know of cases we have filed that have not even been called. The things that the court, especially when you go to the higher courts, it's not just law, it's policy, and all kinds of discretions are applied. So I'm simply saying, our courts must be mindful of the effect of their actions or inactions, and be careful that their actions do not play into the hands of the politicians. And if they so wish it to be, let it be. I'm simply saying all of us are watching and we know what is going on. The judges live in this country, they understand what is going on. Gary and his colleagues have every right to pursue what they are pursuing.
Yes.
And the NBC has every right to complain that, hey, why have you waited all this time? But at the end of the day, I still have faith in our courts.
Why should it matter? Why should it matter that anybody has waited all this while till whatever? Why should it matter? For as long as the evidence will show that will help a judge to make a decision one way or the other, why should they think outside the four walls of the court?
They should, because they live in society and they understand that their actions have some effect on society.
Right. So if they live in society and they should think about what is going in parliament, the evidence is put before them and they find that the MP is guilty or is not guilty. They should say the MP is guilty when he's not guilty, or the MP is not guilty when he's guilty, so as to save what?
I have not said they should say this or they should say that, or they shouldn't say this or they shouldn't say that. I'm simply saying our judges know that politicians play these games and they rightly have to. They should be aware, and they are aware, that the decisions they make will have an effect politically. I'm not saying they shouldn't or they should. I'm simply saying that we all know they are aware. So they should be mindful if they intend to proceed, even with alacrity on this matter and quickly resolve it, so be it. If they intend also to use the normal processes, which may mean that it will take longer, or they intend to even rest some of the issues. There are cases in court today that have been resting, and sometimes the courts can issue a hearing notice. For this or that reason, they wait here or they wait there.
Yes,
and they have the prerogative,
but you know also that some of these cases, the delay is not always to blame on the court, because often you will find that it's some lousy lawyer who is not doing their work well.
Exactly what my point. So there are many things that have led to this kind of delay. What I'm simply saying is that the courts can choose to speed up the process. The courts have that power. The court can issue a hearing notice. The courts can also choose to let the process follow its normal course. Gary is alluding to some legal strategy about appealing and making the thing drag along. The courts can actually truncate some of those processes and force you to come in and make your case on the substantive matters.
Yes.
What I'm simply saying,
the standing rule is that justice must be expeditious.
Yes, and the courts have prerogative. The judge is in control of his court and has the prerogative to actually take steps to speed up a case, or in the interest of justice, hold on till certain things are resolved. So I am saying this to the generality of Ghanaians. Our courts and our judges are doing their work, but they are also aware that what they do has an effect in society. The politicians have a right to apply the strategies they are applying to get the ends that they want. Clearly, if MPP is having a problem rallying its members, they will resort to any other means they can resort to.
Whatever the courts do, it will have an effect on society or particular individuals. Gary,
the courts must not give an undue advantage to a party. which is an issue beyond the court.
The court
So the
must
courts
take
are mindful
deliberate
of the
steps.
effect of their
It,
actions.
it must take deliberate steps to delay the case. Is that your suggestion?
No, the court must do justice, but must be minded that there are other consequences of the justice that they do. Once they are minded that these are the consequences, the wise men in the judges' robes know exactly what to do. They can choose to act in ways that help our union instead of breaking